Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are part of the world. This is Coach Paul. Welcome to the Beyond Frontliners.
Of course, nandito na naman tayo sa ating panibagong episode ng ating Beyond Frontliners. And every Friday, no, inaabangan talaga to, Coach Paul.
Oh, yes, definitely. And as you know it, meron pa rin pandemic na nangyari, hindi pa siya nawawala. But people are still, I believe, are very optimistic na ma-overcome nila yung mga challenges. Every week, nag interview kami ng mga entrepreneurs, digital marketers, influencers, kung paano nila na-overcome yung mga challenges ngayon. And tonight, it is a very special night. Our guest speaker is gonna talk about branding. Joseph, may question ako sa'yo. When you hear the word Starbucks, what comes to your mind?
Siyempre, kape.
How about 7-Eleven?
Of course, dyan, nitong pandemic, talagang gamit na gamit yan. So, more on convenience.
Convenience, ano? And how about Nike?
Just do it.
Just do it. Diba? Connection. Well, we ask about it because meron talaga tayong one word na naiisip pag kapag nagbabanggit tayo ng mga brands na to, it's been a part of our life. Tonight, our guest speaker, Joseph, pakilala naman natin.
Of course. So, we will introduce to you a very special person. She is the youngest person to become a group publisher or director for brand and content strategy in the Philippine media industry. Currently, with more than 15 years multi-lateral experience as a marketer for both B2C and B2B, editor, publisher, banker, and now entrepreneur. A hybrid who likes to juggle creative with analytical work and who genuinely loves creating content that excites the audience while fulfilling business and marketing targets. So let's introduce Miss Meryll Yan.
Miss Meryll Yan, good evening. Maraming
Hi.
salamat. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Joseph. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a big honor. Maraming salamat.
Yes, I've known Meryl since college days. So personally, we know each other. Kakilala ko siya. And not only that, she is a close friend of mine. Kasama ko siya sa school paper. It's been a while, Meryl, no?
Totoo yun. Alam ni Paul how many tilapias I can eat in one sitting.
I know, I
Na
remember that.
during one of our workshops.
Not only that,
Ganito pa rin.
exactly, ano? And yun nga, we run a school paper together, which means a lot for us. Lahat ng mga lessons ng mga natutunan namin doon and napag-usapan na nga natin kanina, yung foundation talaga nandun pa rin. Sabi nga old habits never die hard, di ba? Well,
Nakakano lang po yung kanyang credentials nung binabasa ko.
yeah, it's very talaga, very humbling, very encouraging, motivate talaga tayo. Well, nakakatuwa naman Thanks for joining us, Miss Meryl. Again, in our show Beyond Frontliners, meron tayong mga nakikita mga entrepreneurs ngayon na nagta-thrive this pandemic. They're really doing their ways na Joseph in terms of overcoming yung mga na-encounter nilang failure. But tonight we just wanna ask first si Meryl, how did you go into business? Paano ka nag-start? Ano yung mga nag-motivate sa'yo to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so I got into business because I ran out of experience. I know because a lot of people have so many brilliant ideas. They have this product that they've always wanted to see in the market, or they have this story that they want to tell through a certain service. But there are always things like other factors. Okay, I have a great job already that I don't have to be bothered with. I don't want to take the risk. But there was a time in 2016 where I had a health scare. And with that health scare, I realized my own mortality, which is not something you really want to experience in your 30s. So, still pretty young. And rather than feel sorry for myself or, fold into myself, it made me braver to try something that I was always scared of doing. And I've always had this dream of having my own brand. I was telling Paul earlier that most of my working life as an adult has been as a marketer. So it made me always stay up at night. What if I had my own? What if I finally have my own brand, which had its core values very much aligned with mine, which is very much linked to my history. So, when faced with that abyss, I've seen this online, and there are many inspirational quotes or memes that have come out of it. That when you're faced with an abyss, yeah, the question, "What if I fall?" And then someone asks also, "But what if you fly?" So that's how I ended up starting Skinny. It was one of the greatest scares of my life, but it also made me, funnily enough, courageous to try something out, because what else did I have to lose? Or rather, I could ask myself, why not? If not now, then when? So, try lang. And then the rest is history. And with Skinny, it's really the culmination of many chapters of my life because it combines fashion, storytelling, women empowerment. It also has the values that I very, very much aspire for, that I hope to embody, and I would like other people to also be inspired by. So yun po, yun yung simula of the journey to becoming an entrepreneur. And
Yeah.
it's also true what they say now. Being an entrepreneur is not a 9 to 5 job. It's a 24/7 job. You can't clock out, but it does have a very different kind of fulfillment. So yeah.
Well, nakakatuwa naman yung story ni Meryl, ano. Thank you for sharing that, eh. And we know it na yung, as we mentioned, yung background mo, you've been an editor, you've been a writer, you are one of the youngest, I would say, editors sa Philippine industry. In fact, may copy ako ng isa sa mga ginawa ni Meryl sa Mega
Wow.
Magazine na ganda, di ba? Na-interview niya dito yata si Regine Velasquez. And I think na-feature niya rin kasi kami dito, kaya kumuha ko ng copy. So she's a very creative person, and at the same time, she's also a brand manager, sa Unilever, or and other, meron siya mga ilang mga accolades talaga mapagmamalaki natin. But the question, Miss Meryl, is how are you able to identify that sweet spot as you were able to combine your passion in fashion, creativity, writing, and right now at the same time making a profit? Kasi katulad ng ina-explain natin, di ko lang napakita yung Venn diagram, yung tinatawag nating passion, profit, proficiency. And most of the time, ang mga tao may passion lang pero hindi nila ma-convert sa profit. May proficiency pero wala silang passion doon. Ginagawa lang nila yun because for the sake na gusto lang nila nga magtrabaho. Pero in the case of Meryl, she was able to identify such sweet spot. Kwento mo naman sa amin.
Sige. I love this diagram. If people want to Google it, it's a Japanese term called ikigai, which is Ikigai. And it's the intersection of many different circles. So one circle is what's your passion, one circle is what does the world need, one circle is what can you make money out of because it's practical, what another circle is what are you the best at. And then all of these circles, yung intersection na yun is your ikigai, or what Paul would describe as the sweet spot. So with skinny nga, totoo, it's a intersection of all of those things, because I was involved in fashion, and it's still something that I very much love, as my husband can testify. And then it's also something that made use of my skill set as a marketer, as a brand person, because I could conceive of this brand using the well of experience that I've had working with other brands, working with amazing brands, big and small. And then, of course, we also wanted it to be a source of revenue, one of the sources of revenue, because I'm also quite happy to say that I very much believe in having multiple streams of revenue, or multiple streams of income. So skinny is one of mine, but it's also something that marries all of the other things that are intangible, that give me what you might call emotional revenue, or the satisfaction and fulfillment of getting to tell the stories that I want to tell, getting to work with amazing women. I have this tribe of ladies called the Skinny Tribe na lahat sila napaka-accomplished, napaka-inspiring. And I get to hang out and work with them and they wear skinny and it's, all of these things put together was what you might call that ikigai or that sweet spot. And then I'm also quite aware that for some people it's not easy. I'm very very much conscious of this privilege that I have because I do come from a great school. I was a scholar, uh, and I was able to have opportunities that allowed me to have something like skinny. And there are many people na hindi because you have priorities, you have responsibilities that are bigger. So I guess what I can say is just know that wherever you are at that present moment, just do the best that you can. Na-touch ko rin yun kanina before tayo nag-on ng broadcast kay Paul tsaka kay Joseph. Na in everything you do, kahit magligpit ka lang ng plato or kahit matuto ka mag-bake, which I just did, do your best pa rin. And for me kasi, as long as in those daily activities, even those small ones, and you get to have that fulfillment na alam mo, ginawa mo yung pinaka kaya mong gawin, that gives you satisfaction. And then, little by little, yung discipline kasi na yun, I think will pave a path that will lead to better things.
Yeah. Teka lang, may yon. Kakatuwa naman. Well, yeah, that's a great blessing, no? Nabanggit natin yung sweet spot na to. And Joseph?
Yeah, and tama nga, di ba? Do your best. Ngayon, madami tayong mga nanonood na or even yung mga followers ng PDS na into starting their small business or nagrarana sila ng business. Miss Meryl, ito yung tanong nila, no? Gaano ba kahalaga ang branding?
Pinakamahalagang branding para sa akin. Kasi the way I would describe branding is it's the sum of kung ano yung produkto mo and ano yung story mo around yung produkto or yung service mo. So, for example, back in the old days, if you have a great product, bebenta ka, di ba? But in this age kasi where young people, and not just young people, I think even our parents and the people who are much older than us are seeking stories. Hindi na enough na sabihin mo, ikaw yung pinaka nakakapagpaputi ng labada. Ganun kasi dati yung advertising eh. If you want to convince people to buy your product, you have a superiority claim. Ikaw yung pinakamura, pinakamabilis, ganun lang. But now, I've seen people wanting to resonate with brands. It's not just enough na, bibilhin ko siya kasi siya yung pinakamura. It's also something, I guess, that we search for as human beings na we choose the things that have the same values or create the same truths that we want to see in the world. I know napaka esoteric, napaka idealistic. Pero totoo yun eh. Kasi I've been seeing this trend also in many new brands and many old brands who are now pivoting towards an approach that is more about storytelling, more about creating a space and a tribe with their customers. Ang paborito kong ang paborito kong example nga ng branding mga na-mention ni Paul eh, di ba? Na nandyan si Nike. Diba? At the end of the day, ang binebenta niya sapatos. And most of us can never ever play as well as Michael Jordan. And yet we buy into that dream. We buy into that just do it. And we do. Kamakailan lang I got into running. I never before believed na I would do something like that. Kasi I even hated PE growing up. But nagawa ko siya. And if someone like me, nagawa ko siya, then anyone really can do it. So it resonates with people eh. Yung words na yun na just do it. Hindi lang siya sapatos yung binibili mo, you're also buying into this belief or into this dream that you too can do it. Even if you won't exactly be as, superstar as LBJ, but it might help, inspire you to step out of your door and do a 5K run and then get healthier or maybe even try for a marathon and have a medal at the end of the day. So, nakakatuwa siya kasi it spurs you into action. So, hindi lang siya sapatos, di ba? You're buying into a whole value system.
Yeah.
And sa branding, kasi sa small businesses, I mean, lahat naman tayo, somehow we aspire to have, that giantness. And syempre nakarating na si Nike sa pinnacle of success. But I think for small businesses, branding is still important because anyone can sell anything these days, but branding is what sets you apart and what gives you, something to stand for aside from your product. Uh, I think a lot of people don't realize na, when you buy into a certain brand, most often they didn't even start with that product. Maybe they had a different product at the beginning. But dahil sa panahon or dahil sa, circumstances, they change your product line, but the brand is still the same. That's because intact naman pa rin yung value system or yung storya. So, yun ang maganda sa branding. It gives you, I would say, a structure or a foundation on which to lay your business beyond just, products, for example. And I think even that Filipinos are so creative. I think we are one, if not, some of the most creative people in this world. Napakadali nga for Pinoys to think of clever lines, clever puns. Napaka-ingrained sa atin yung magkaroon ng personality and magkaroon ng entertainment value. 'Di ba? So, kung yun nga kaya natin gawin, it's not too far of a stretch to also think of branding. There's this, I mean, I know Paul, wala ka na sa Pilipinas, but just Pinay, we're both very familiar with angkas. 'Di ba?
Oh yeah.
Nakakatawa si Angkas, 'di ba? And and for 'di ba, for such a newbie, Froshi in the industry, they've made such a mark, I think because of branding. Kasi they were able to find yung kiliti ng Pinoy, 'di ba?
Uh-huh.
Yung salitaan niya is ibang-iba from any other company. And successful sila. So that's a local example, I think, of branding.
Nakakatuwa yung kwento ni Meryl. Right now, in terms of branding, it's connected, of course, to storytelling. Sa quote nga na ginagamit namin sa mga training sessions namin, people nowadays don't buy into brands. They buy the stories behind the brands. At dito talaga papasok kung paano mo talaga kikwento yung story mo. And with this, Meryl, what is the story behind Skinny? Paano ka nag-lead into leading or founding your I would say your bundle of joy now, Skinny.
Wow, the story of Skinny. It came about when I was still an editor for the fashion magazine. I think when you're in fashion kasi, and that was in the early 2010s. This is a trip down memory lane. Because some people might feel like, oh, it's not like that anymore. Thankfully, it's not. But back then, it was a very, very different landscape kasi talaga for women and for fashion brands in general. Back then, hindi uso yung plus size. Hindi uso yung, it wasn't even allowed to have a woman who was not model size to be in magazines. Kailangan talaga size 2 or 4, maximum na yung size 4. US size yun so napakaliit na.
Yeah.
And as an editor, I was trying to for that. When I was actually there, thankfully, I was allowed to make changes in the magazine that actually expanded its reach beyond even fashion. So we did the Pinoy Pride. We did a lot of features on exceptional women who weren't models, who weren't exactly in the fashion industry. And there were many other things that I felt broadened its scope. But there was still that missing thing, or that what I would call,
Hold on a second.
but there
Yeah.
was still that missing underserved market, which were women who are regular sized and not model-esque. And speaking as a woman myself, iba kasi talaga yung pressure. Back then lalo, it was
Uh huh. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was also under a lot of pressure to be a certain size, to look a certain way. And if I was feeling that, I knew that millions of other women were or are feeling that. So, doon nagkaroon ng first glimmer of an idea, first glimmer. Because I knew that if I launched something, I wanted it to be inclusive. Ang paniniwala ko kasi, even though fashion is something na parang frivolous, na, ay, kaartehan lang, for some people, di ba? But I've seen kasi how it can transform people for the better. Pag naisuot mo sa kanila yung maganda, even their disposition lightens. They really become, radiant. So I wanted to convey that fashion is not something that should make you feel not enough, or worse, should make you feel ugly or fat. Rather, fashion should make you feel like you're beautiful, should make you feel strong. Ang joke ko nga was this terrible thing. Why are women changing their bodies to fit into the clothes? Why aren't the clothes changing to fit into the women's bodies? Hindi ko naintindihan yung rationale. Baliktad. So, that was the genesis of skinny. And then, bakit swimwear? Kasi, I remember I was in Fashion Week pa nga nung time na yun. Marami tayong napakamagaling na designers. Sobra. And I'm friends with a lot. But I also realized, since tropical country ang Pilipinas, and we also have the best islands in the world, diba? Parati tayo na-feature sa Condé Nast, best beaches of the world. Kung merong article of clothing na valedictorian tayo as Filipinos, it has to be resort wear or summer wear. The same way that you can get the best for faux fur, the best winter collections from the coldest countries kasi syempre alam nila kung paano pag sobrang lamig. Conversely, you need to have the best summer wear or the best resort wear or swimwear coming from the Philippines. So yun, and then nag-connect na lahat. And sakto din kasi, I've always been a collector of swimwear. Like I found that article of clothing to be my favorite of all the things. So, and I love, of course, going to the nature. Kaya it's ticking all of these boxes, so to speak, with skinny.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Talagang grabe detalyado talaga pala yung sa branding na skinny. And ito lang yung isa sa mga tanong rin namin, no. What if, 'di ba, nagsisimula pa lang yung isang small business. So ngayon, dahil nga napakinggan kanya, so ngayon mag-iisip siya, paano ko ba aayusin yung branding namin? Okay? So ano ba yung mapapayo mo sa ating mga small business owners or even mga entrepreneurs on how to ayusin yung kanilang brand ngayon? Dapat ba may logo sila? Dapat ba ganito yung dapat ba maayos lahat? Or paano man natin mai-implement sa kanila yon yung pagkakaroon nila ng brand?
Siguro yung unang tatanungin ko would be, what is the problem you're solving? It's not original, this question. I mean, many gurus who have far more experience and far more accolades actually start with that question. Si Melanie Perkins, the Phil Aussie founder of Canva, who's recently
Yeah.
in the news. Oo, in the news siya kasi youngest billionaire siya ng Australia. she also ascribes by that then what problem am I solving? So magsimula tayo dun, and then from there, then maybe masasagot natin, o siguro, kung ito yung problema, ito yung solution, ito yung product or service na pwede natin ibigay. And then from there, ito yung product or service na pwede natin ibigay. Ano naman kaya yung unique sa na-offer natin na pwede kong gamitin as the key selling point or the key tagline. Totoo yun na you mentioned logo, Joseph, no? Na kailangan talaga ngayon may logo, may tagline. Kasi nandito na tayo sa panahon din that yung design IQ ng lahat ng tao mataas eh. This is the generation where everyone is a photographer. Di ba? Hindi na tulad ng dati na kakaunti lang yung photographer. Now, every single person who walks this planet is pretty much a photographer. Di ba? Kung gaano ka-curated yung mga Instagram at Facebook ng mga tao, di ba? Ang taas ng design, ang taas ng design aesthetic ng regular person na hindi naman talaga professionally creative, but maraming tao may mata, may point of view, my way of speaking. So from there, I'm so confident that people can find something that will constitute their brand. As long as you can answer those questions and then you look into yourself and to what you want to offer, then it's very possible. We all know someone who can help us also. I'm very lucky because I married an artist.
Yes.
So kung art, by training kasi writer talaga ako. So yung joke kasi namin in the publishing world is that art and copy have to be aligned always. Ganun talaga, art and copy, art and copy. So ako si copy and then husband. But even if you're single, or you're just starting out, and I'm sure we all have a friend or know someone who can be another, point of view and help us create that identity. But of course, I'm also an evangelist towards uh, giving artists their due. So never ever ask for a free logo. Never ever ask for free product photography. There's always going to be, you know, I like to call it, actually my friend Kimilu, who's one of our muses and is a life coach, she calls it energy exchange. O, di ba? Ang ganda. So,
Tama.
energy exchange, kailangan may nagsusoli. Di ba? Hindi naman siya para lang mukhang pera ba? Or, no, it's not that. It's energy exchange. Because for this thing that was given to you, then you can give that. Yan. Malinaw na malinaw din yun for me. I have
Tama.
to say. But, even sa sarili mo, kung kaya mo ring mag-drawing, then you can make your own logo, and there are so many solutions also na rin online there that can create those things for you. So there's really no excuse now. And as long as you have those answers to the questions lined up into a plan, then that will lead you, I think, to the right kind of brand.
Yeah. Well, sabi nga natin, yung mga technologies na available ngayon, before, ang hirap pang gawin to kasi just like what we're using right now, this application StreamYard, and we're using several social media marketing apps na madali na ngayong i-present yung mga brand, no? But in terms of doing that, Meryl, sa experience mo of using social media marketing, and we know that this is more than knowing the technical, yung mga know-hows eh. Pero how should small business use social media marketing, and how should they engage the online followers, yung mga customers nila?
For me, social media marketing is very much a two-way street. The beauty of social media marketing is it's not a one-way conversation. Tulad ng before, na you'll put out an ad, talastas siya, and then you don't hear back from the audience. You'll find out if they liked it, if they buy your product. Diba? That's it. But now with social media, the technology is there for them to real time react to what you have to offer and what you've said and what you've put out. So I really consider social media as a conversation. It's a source of engagement and awareness, obviously, but really engagement. Um, I even used we even used social media recently to help us answer some questions about product development. Dati, if you want to come out with a new product, diba, you hold yourself in a lab or in a fabric facility if you're into fashion and sketch what you want. But now, because your audience is literally, in a touch of your fingerprints and touch of your fingers, then you can even ask them, "Oh, what color do you like? Do you like this print or that print?" That's the beauty of social media. And if you're just starting and magpapakilala ka pa lang and you're still at the point where you're making yourself known, then also the beauty of social media is that you get to publish your thoughts, you get to convey the visuals that resonate with you for free or pretty much very little. Dati kasi to enter business, you really had to have money to be
Yeah.
able to put up ads in a primetime TV show or in a newspaper. But thanks to social media, na-democratize talaga yung marketplace. And it allows people like me, small entrepreneurs, startups, to put our, hat on the table and be like, "Hi, we're here. This is what we stand for. These are our products. We hope you like them." Diba? So, meron kang opportunity to do that na dati-rati wala. So, I really think I'm very, very grateful for social media. I'm also still very grateful for traditional media. It's- We're lucky rin because dahil sa maybe the past lives, I've been lucky enough to meet certain people who are still working editors, who are still working journalists, and they've been so kind enough to feature Skinny in the newspapers and online uh, portals of publications or standalone online portals. And those things are huge sources of credibility for us because social media is what you say about yourself. Pero iba pa rin kasi what other people say about you eh. Di ba? Sabi nila ang tunay na maganda, hindi siya yung nagsasabi about that sa sarili niya, di ba? Kailangan. So anyway, what I'm just trying to say is social media is a great start, but I also very much believe pa rin in the other channels. You can I think newspapers have already pivoted into online
Mm-hmm.
news portals or online news agencies, and I think Paul is one of those correspondents who are in such things. And then there are also blogs. There are B the blogs and V the vlogs, diba? There's YouTube. So all of these things come together pa rin eh, to make up the brand and to make up the conversation around the brand. But definitely, yeah, social media can help a lot in setting the narrative. Yun. Tsaka sa pagpapakilala sa sarili, it definitely gives you an edge. Because kung, before the only way you could get yourself out there is if you had capital or word of mouth, diba? Which is also super powerful, even more powerful now. Again, with social media, you have the chance to leapfrog things and be at a level of awareness that previously you had to have a ton of money to attain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true, kuya, di ba? Even yung PDS, no? Talagang social media yung isang naging way para mas makilala tayo ng ating mga followers ngayon.
Oh,
Miss
definitely.
Meryl, what are some challenges your business is facing this pandemic, and how are you dealing with those problems and challenges?
Yeah, totoo. I mean, where do I even begin? First off, before I talk about the challenges that we face for skinny, I guess I want to touch on the reality or the seriousness of the situation. Uh, it's something that is truly a black swan event. No one could have foreseen this. I mean, even a company as huge as Airbnb, has really been on its knees because of the pandemic and
Yeah.
how many people around the world are affected. So, if anything, we consider this time of the pandemic to really just survive. I know Jack Ma said something about that already, where for businesses, this 2020, if you survive, that's already a big success. Don't na, he didn't even say anything beyond that. But how it translates to me as a small business person or as a startup is that the goal really is to still be around, hopefully, because just today we're reading Facebook posts of just beloved. There's this restaurant that I super duper love, and then they're now in danger of closing. So I know this pandemic has really decimated so many industries and has affected so many jobs. So in short, what I'm trying to say is it's something that everyone is going through, and if you get to overcome it, then great. But maybe that's the exception. But uh, I still have huge empathy and if not feeling for everyone else who is feeling the direst things because of it. For us nga in Skinny, we were lucky enough. I know I've said that term several times already in this conversation, but we were lucky enough to be a bit delayed. It's funny, because uh, summer doesn't move for anyone. Diba? The weather is the seasons are set, but for some weird reason, we were delayed by our own doing. By our own doing, we were delayed. But that delay turned out to be a blessing because the tragedy hit, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. So instead of us, having sunk already huge amount for inventory, thankfully we were able to avoid that. And the reason why I'm even talking about it is because I want to diagnose it for what it is, which is an amazing stroke of luck. Parang swerte. Hindi siya talaga, it wasn't because of some divine uh, skill set or napakahusay na forecast. Hindi. Kabaliktaran actually na because of my procrastination, which I don't often do. Paul can vouch for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and it was just the one time that I was affected by it, I think. And it turned out to be a blessing. So we were able to dodge it thanks to that. And again, out of sensitivity and respect to the greater matters at hand. Uh, my husband and I, who caretake the brand, we both made the executive decision to not overtly sell this year. So if you notice, um, in our skinny social media, there's no sale. There's no offense to the ones who did that. I mean, this is just our path because we chose it. I
Yeah.
know other brands and other companies had no choice but to do that and to convert cash.
Mhm.
to get cash. But for us, we were able to thankfully have enough or to still have, again, because I've ascribed to that model of having multiple streams of income. So we were still comfortable enough that maybe this year is not the year to sell swimsuits. We have far graver things on our horizon, on our
Exactly.
present scenarios. In fact, for the first time ever, since we were like, hindi natin gusto yata magbenta ng swimsuits ngayon. For the first time, we even considered what was unthinkable, but we were able to change our swimsuits and turn them into masks. So we've repurposed them to become masks. And I'm very happy to see also the response for that kasi unlike yung mga masks na napakasakit sa mukha na yung masusugat ka talaga with certain masks because there's wiring, it's very, you know, constricting. With ours kasi it's comfortable. Iba kasi talaga yung fabric namin. So in a way, yun na yung parang kawang gawa namin or beauty namin as a brand. We deliberately made the decision to scale down on the commercial pursuits and to focus more on the humane pursuits. I know napaka ano to say such things, but it's true. We we chose to tell stories of women who have done amazing things during this pandemic. Because I've and you can see them in the skinny page. Like there's someone who's in the military. Like I
Yes.
can't even wrap my head around that. I mean,
Love it.
certain people, it's already so hard to make a living, and but to be literally in the front line and having to patrol an area and make sure that goods come in. I mean, and it's a woman at the top of that. There's another one. They pivoted from being a tour group to being a marketplace, so they can still fund. This is mad. Make a difference. Where they used to do these unique experiences. We can hike up, we can the locals. But since walang travel, walang tourism, they've pivoted into becoming marketplace. So yung goods coming from those localities, they source them and then they find a market for them here in Manila. So makita pa rin yung localities where they used to tour in, now they've become suppliers of honey, of vegetables. I've seen, you know, women turn into entrepreneurs overnight. Um, People make fun of the ube cheese pandesal
Oh, yes.
virality during this time. But I admire everyone who has turned to making those things to get income, because wala. For example, walang events. So pag walang events, lahat ng tao or jobs around that event, wala ring trabaho, walang host, walang caterer, walang makeup artist, walang hairstylist, diba? I've even heard stories, real stories, of people becoming Grab delivery men, doing Lala Move, just to have income. So I salute everyone because for me kasi it's very easy to fall into despair. Totoo yun eh. Warranted yun eh. Hindi kasi siya maliit na bagay. Hindi siya imagined horror. It's very real. It's affecting billions of people. So if someone wanted to just curl up in their room, they're perfectly validated for doing that. Okay lang. I mean, it's there's every reason to feel like that and to do that. But that's also what makes the ones who somehow find it in themselves to do something pa rin, to rise up kahit it's beneath them, kahit they're super overqualified for it and yet they still do it. I mean, more power to everyone. Kasi they say, di ba, crisis brings out either your best or your worst.
Tama.
So, dami kong nakitang inspiring na stories.
Ang dami nating realizations talaga ngayon, ano? Especially, you mentioned about it na yung pagbibigay talaga ng value important ngayon. I like what you're doing now at Skinny, yung tinatawag nating social corporate responsibility na you turned everything into masks and then was able still to help the community right now. And how will be able to, if people are interested, Meryl, pala sa mga products nyo, how are we able to reach you kahit may pandemic na to?
Oh, well, we have a website. It's called skinnyswim.com, SKINNISWIM.com. I actually I always get kilig naman whenever I get an order. Kasi pumapasok siya sa personal email address ko eh.
Uh-huh.
So, pero kung dati-dati, kinikilig ako when I get an order. This time around, knowing what I know about the realities today, sobrang multiplied exponential yung kilig ko when we do get an order. Kasi yung alam mong they chose you because it's much more than their swimsuit, maybe because they like what they stand for. I'm also happy to describe our customer, our Skinny customer. They're repeat customers. They're very loyal customers. I have women who collect Skinny. Like first they'll buy one, and then the next time they'll buy two, and then the next time they'll buy. Ano sila? I would say loyal, almost religious to an extent. For Skinny. So I'm very, very grateful to them. They are champions and our tribes people. But yeah, I mean, for me kasi talaga, gravy na yun eh. Parang yun eh. Bonus na, so to speak. And again, I know isang napakalaking privilege nga to even be able to say that. And again, it's really pure love. But
Tama.
thankfully, dahil nga sa ganun, we just want to keep the conversation going and hence the value of the brand. Where even though we're not actively selling, we're not actively advertising, as swimsuit, buy a swimsuit, buy a swimsuit. Hindi ganun yung conversation namin. Rather, we just want to honor the type of women that we consider to be the skinny woman or the skinny tribes woman who is doing a lot of this time. Enough na yun for us for now. Eh. And again, linked siya dun sa sinasabi ko kanina about the importance of having a brand. Kasi hindi ka nakatali sa produkto mo. Of course, napaka-importante ng produkto mo, no? But more than that, there's this whole, atmosphere of values and, the personality that becomes what defines you in the end.
Yeah.
And because we have that, then we can continue our brand even without the very, very commercial presence.
Nakakatawa, no? Napahaba ang ating discussions this evening, but we love it. We love to learn about branding. Joseph, anong takeaway mo dito kay Miss Meryl sa mga sinabi niya?
Well, ang pinaka nagustuhan ko dun sa mga buong discussion, parang kung ano yung brand mo, i-live out kung ano yung mga values na kine-carry nung ating business. Kaya excited rin ako mag-rebrand sa PDS.
Exactly. Saka talagang we know it na ngayong pandemic rin, na-realize ng mga tao, hindi talaga pera-pera lahat. It's about giving value. Yung sinasabi ni Miss Meryll Yan na it's a give and take relationship sa nangyayari. Once you give value to others, babalik rin talaga to sa'yo. And as we know it too, we all learn from this pandemic sa mga small businesses na nag-rise ngayon. We learn a lot from you tonight. Thank you so much, Miss Meryll Yan. Salamat sa pag-join us ngayong gabi na to. It's an honor, it's a privilege to talk again to one of, I would say, a mentor na talagang binavalue ko. And the stuff, Joseph, na mga sabi ko nga, yung mga natutunan ko ngayon, being a journalist, being also a entrepreneur wannabe, I learned most of them kay Miss Meryll Yan.
Oh,
Wow,
salamat
thank you,
po.
Miss Meryll.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joseph, for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you, both.
Yes.
And more power to PDS.
Salamat, salamat. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you again next time sa Beyond Frontliners as we interview and we will interview more entrepreneurs para mas ma-inspire pa tayo ngayong pandemic, and we will continue to move forward. Thank you so much again. See you next time in our show Beyond Frontliners. Bye.